Anyway, Jim Chesnutt, a little bit about me. I was, it's kind of a deja vu moment because I was one of you sitting out there, and John and Scott were there, and believe it or not, they don't, I don't know, look old enough or act old enough to be there, but I think it was 1987, probably, so. But I think it's great to hang out with different physicians and different practices because you really get a chance to understand that family medicine is really a compilation of a lot of different activities. You get to spend your time kind of like where you want to in a lot of ways. I was in the military as well, and I went and did my residency in the military, so I learned, you know, basically take care of a broad group of people. We actually had kids and adults, so, but we also could kind of focus our practice. So I actually wanted to do sports medicine, so I took care of a lot of practice and started developing sports medicine practice in the military. But I also learned how to take care of my neighbors there, which is something that you don't always get the chance to understand in kind of the usual practice. So I would take care of all my neighbors pretty much because we're in the military. And I learned how to do that in a way that is very much like being learned as a small town physician. So as I came out, of course, out of the military, I got to go to Florida, the Azores Islands in Portugal, and learned how to do stuff independently, like reading books and calling orthopedic surgeons now 5,000 miles away. Well, how do we do this? You know, so there's a lot of learning on the job when you're a physician, even after residency, and particularly when you're in rural communities where you don't have a lot of support. And a lot of people enjoy that. I think it's real stimulating as well for the practice of family medicine. But when I came back to Portland, my intent of finding a job was to find a job where I could be involved in the community. And Dr. Salton and at that time Dr. Taylor are very supportive of the faculty here getting involved with the community. And I think family physicians in general are interested in being involved in the grass level of the community. So I think it's important to consider if you like to be involved in kind of population-based medicine or in the community, specifically family medicine is a great profession for that. So I lived and worked in the community I grew up in, and so I was like a small town doctor in a big town. But one time in Portland here, I took care of 60 people in my cul-de-sac, which is kind of unusual, kind of weird, but six of the households. And so, including my old pastors and my old teachers and stuff. And so you can actually create a small town doctor field, not having to be in a rural community. But I think one of the good things about family medicine is you do learn how to take care of people and find out that people want physicians to take care of them, that know them and care about what they're doing in their personal life. So I think that's another important part of being a family physician. And then the part that's a little bit different about me is, although I was really ingrained with all the, as a family physician, I also was following a track of sports medicine, which was an area of the curriculum in practice in Portland that was kind of underserved or not well addressed. And so as I grew my career, I grew in towards sports medicine and had to kind of make a decision about whether to follow that as a path. And so I ended up closing the family practice clinic about 6 years ago and pursuing that full time to develop a program here. So we get a fellowship program going and develop, you know, kind of a practice for family medicine at the university. So I still miss the family practice part of it, but oddly enough, I still do a lot of continuity care, just because I'm used to it with people who get their injuries with their family, so it's a little weird. So I'm kind of doing family sports care, which is okay. But I think the reason I'm up here is not to say that everybody should do that in family medicine, but the fact is that you can actually pursue interests within the career of family medicine, maintain your family medicine roots, and use what you learn in family systems and in biopsychosocial care to apply it to any healthcare system or to the law system, or whatever you end up doing. So I think that I also feel like I go and do little camp doctor work, and you need family medicine training or some primary care to do that. Elizabeth does that too, but I also found out that it's important to carve out time for your family, and I'm able to do that. I think I didn't go into surgery because I kind of felt the same way that Jonathan did. But in reality, no matter what you do, you have to make a choice to devote yourself to your things you want to do outside of work, family, church, a lot of school activities. So, but I coached sports for 15 years, and I was able to rearrange my schedule to go do that. And if that's what your passion is, I think you need to carve out time to do that. So that's pretty much
talk a little bit about the concussion study? I think that's pretty fascinating.
Well, so I've worked a lot with concussions, and unfortunately there's nobody to take care of concussions. Family doctors are really the best doctors to take care of concussions because it's a biopsychosocial issue, because you get bumped in the head, can't work, can't go to school, etc. And so that's what we help. And so maybe that's what you're talking about. We help pass the state law, and actually just helping kind of modify that to apply to the whole state, not just high school. So maybe that's what we're talking about. But we've done a lot of changes in our state to help care for concussion. So that's a really great family medicine care model as well. So.
Pretty big deal.
Thank you.